Good Sunday morning, friends. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Today I thought I'd show you how I make kind of like an interactive Dutch door insert for my junk journal. And I learned how to do this from Jessica of Paper Terrace a long time ago, many years ago, probably like 5 or 6 years ago. So my pages are very large, so I needed to get a large base page. So you're going to need a base page, but if you have a double-sided paper and your book pages are, you know, small enough to fit like this, then you don't need the base page. You could just use your double-sided paper and then a coordinating paper for the pockets. So the first thing that we're going to do is find the center of our page and the page that we want to put it on. And I'm going to use this blank white page here. And so we're going to find the centers of here and here, because eventually we're going to line up the centers. And we're going to fold to the center, and we may have to make some cuts if it doesn't fit perfectly. But I think in this case it does fit pretty perfectly. So we're just going to fold it up like that, so we have kind of like a double door. And then in my case I'm going to have to trim off the bottom a little bit. Alright, I've cut my little door or my gate paper down to size. So you could leave it like this if you just want an interactive gate to open up and then maybe be a pocket inside. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my little door parts so that I have sort of like a Dutch door. And I'm going to do that with a ruler because I want everything to be straight. And I'm not going to make it straight across the middle. I'm going to put like one up here, and I'm going to have them kind of like not even. Hopefully that is straight. I don't think it is. Okay, so that's straight now. And then this one I'm going to put right down here. And I want to make sure this one is straight too. Obviously nothing has to be perfect. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to cut along the lines. And you could put your decorative paper on first and then cut it, but I'm choosing to do it this way. Just like that. Okay, so now we kind of have, they're kind of staggered. They're not. Now, we also want to have our base covered, at least I do. And what you can do with this is you can just put your paper inside, you can glue it down, and you could glue it down on 3 sides to make it a pocket, or you could glue it down on 3 sides and then add another pocket on top of this, or you could just have it be a base for photos or journaling. But what I'm going to do, I don't think I'm going to use this because my pages aren't quite big enough. I'm going to have to measure the width of this and cut my papers accordingly. I'm going to make mine a big large pocket, and then I'm going to have a pocket on each of these doors. Now you could go crazy and have a pocket on the inside and the outside of the doors too, but that would make your book very bulky. So you know, you want to be mindful of how bulky you want your book to be. Alright, so I've cut my base page here down to size, and I put a little notch to show that it's a pocket. And now I'm going to glue it on 3 sides. You could sew this, I suppose. It's kind of big though, this one is. And I don't tend to sew for my own books much. I usually just sew in books that I'm selling or making for other people as gifts. I don't know why. I think I just want my own books to be quick and easy, but I'm not sure why I don't take the time to sew my own books, but I should, because I love how it looks. And we've got this. Make sure we're still able to close our little doors. And you can make pockets, like I said, on the inside of these. You can leave them blank if it's a paper that you like. Or you can cover them and, you know, just have it to be a place to journal or put photos. And I think I am going to just make these covered with paper for photos or journaling. So first I'm going to show you guys how to do the pockets, which is very simple. You just cover it with your paper and you put a little notch in it, just like we did with this. Just have to measure it to make sure everything fits. So this is how I measure. I just take my paper that I want to cut to size, put it under the flap, and make a mark. And that's how I measure. Alright, so you can see I have all my pockets cut out, and I'm going to glue them on, 3 sides each. And you can see, I'm sure, how this would be a lot less complicated and time consuming if you used double-sided paper, because then you wouldn't have to line the other side, or if you just used a decorative paper as your base. It doesn't have to be double-sided, I guess, but let's get this one on. And so we have that now. Make sure we get them lined up good. And open this up so we can get this one on here. Oh, I'm running out of coordinating papers that look good together. But I am using up a lot of old paper pads that I have had for years, so that's good. Here we have this side that flips open, and you can see that I definitely need to line these sides up. What I think I might do is just, I'm going to do the same paper on the top and the bottom for the liners, the inside liners. Okay, and now we'll just glue this side on. This one's getting caught up a little bit. It wouldn't hurt to just cut a sliver off if your paper gets hung up at all. Let's do the bottom here. So this is what I call interactive Dutch door pockets. That's what we'll call it. Interactive Dutch door pockets, yeah. So we got that. And that's good. It's flipping good. Debated on which side, but decided to go with the black and not the gray. Thought it matched better. Okay. It helps that if you don't put your glue line straight at the edge so that it won't ooze out. And there we go. And now we have this part done. And then we'll have to make little cards or tags to go in each pocket, of course. So now I just want to line these up. Polka dot and I guess heart on this side. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. I could do it this way. I'll measure that up. Actually. And mark where we're going to cut it. Okay. That's going to be here and here, and we're going to cut it right here. Okay, let's get that cut out. And then we can measure the other side with this paper. Okay. We'll cut this. Okay. You want to cut it just a little bit in from your line because it was on the other side of the paper, you know, it would be a little tiny bit too big. You could put, you know, cut it down so you have a border, something like that. Or if you really wanted to get bulky, you could even just add a little envelope on here too, glue that on, something like that. But for now I'm just gonna leave mine as is and figure out what I want to do with them later. I think probably just for photos. So this we're gonna glue the whole thing on. So we're gonna do the whole piece of paper and just glue it down. Make sure we're getting it right. So if your paper tends to be a little bit skinnier, that's okay because you need that place to fold your actually, what if I did this? No, I think I'm going to go ahead and keep it the same. If I had a different polka dot, that might work though. Like a different color polka dot. So it's getting quite warm here. So we are excited about that. And I don't know if you've noticed that we had some of my shorts. I've showed our little pond that we made, and our neighbor brought us some tadpoles from his, he lives across the street where the big pond is, and he found some tadpoles and put them in our little pond. And there's a frog now, so that's cool. Alright, now we're going to measure this side. And I think we have to do it like this. Fold it over. Get it as tight in there as possible to get it measured properly. And then we're going to do the same thing. Just mark where we're going to cut it, and then mark in the center where we're going to cut it. Okay. No matter how big my workspace gets, it never seems to be big enough. I need a really nice big table that I can use. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. You never know. We live in a small apartment. Well, it's not really that small, but it's not big enough to have a giant work table anywhere. I can say that. It's actually, we have a 2-bedroom, and we've got a dining room, a kitchen, and a living room. And then there was a garage in the back that was partially, you know, finished when we moved in, and we made 2 bedrooms out of it, and a little kitchenette, and there was already like a weird little bathroom in there. So that's still there. So there's like we have an apartment within an apartment for our son that's in college, and our other son who still lives at home. So that's kind of neat. They have their own separate apartment, but it's still in our apartment, so they can come in and use the laundry facilities. And yes, my son's that works pays rent, and my other son did pay rent until he became a full-time student, we never made our full-time student kids pay rent, since they obviously weren't even living here. He's at college. Well, he lived here in the summer, but... So yeah, I am going to trim this off a little bit so it will close, and it probably won't be straight, but hopefully it won't look too bad. It just felt like it was hanging up. So there we have it. We open up our pockets. We have space in here. We could put photos here or journaling papers or anything like that. I see I need to erase a pencil mark. And now we're going to just glue it down into the book, which leads me to one more potential pocket. This is the page that I've decided to glue this to. Now, if you really wanted to get fancy, you could glue this whole thing just on 3 sides and have a pocket behind your pocket. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to glue the whole thing down, and because I just don't think my base paper was strong enough for that. I think it would get you know, bent and messed up too much. But, you know, if you're using really strong paper and you don't care how bulky your journal gets, then go for it. Have as many pockets as you want. So your potential for pockets with this, so we'll figure that out in a sec. We'll get this glued down, and we'll be generous with the glue. Okay, we'll get that lined up and centered as good as we can. And I'm going to take my little roller and open this up, roll it down. There we go. So your potential for pockets with this is, we've got 4 on the front. You could have 4 inside, and that would be 8, and then this would be 9, and then you could put one back here, and that would be 10. So you have the potential for 10 pockets with this Dutch door pocket, interactive pocket page. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something, and I hope you are all healthy and happy and doing well. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.